remember nights when the ceiling knew my secrets, when my prayers sounded weak and my faith felt defeated, when silence was loud and darkness repeated every lie that said, boy, you will never complete it. Fear had a voice and it spoke in equations, deadlines, delays, and academic frustrations. I carried my dreams, but it felt like sedation. Ambition asleep in a room full of patience. See, people see the purpose, but they never see the pressure. They see the applause, but they never see the measure of nights when your mind is a storm you can't weather, and faith feels as light as a worn-out feather. I was drowning in thoughts I was too scared to mention, praying for progress but stuck in suspension. My books on the table but my mind in detention, my goals in the future, my feet in prevention. God, I confess it, my faith had collisions, trust and my doubts in the war of decisions. One said wait, the other said listen, but fear kept rewriting the lines of my vision. I read about Peter who stepped from the boat with waves like giants grabbing his throats. The wind was loud but louder the coats. If it is you, Lord, call me to float. But Lord, what happens when faith feels fictional, when miracles seem only biblical, when every delay feels clinical and hope feels historically mythical? I had prayers that rose but never returned, dreams on the shelf slowly gathering concern, lessons of patience I never had learned, while bridges of confidence quietly burn. See, stagnation is cruel, it disguises defeats, it shackles your hands but pretends you're at peace. It whispers relax, there's no reason to leap, while purpose is screaming beneath your heartbeats. I fought silent wars in the dark of my room, where fear wore a crown and faith held a wound. My future looked foggy, my progress entombed, my courage a flower that refused to bloom. But somewhere between the breaking and bending, the silence and storms and the long years of pending, God whispered softly, not loudly but gently, the water will hold if faith is your entry. And suddenly something inside of me awakened, the fire in bones that delay couldn't weaken. The doubts that once ruled me began slowly shaking, the chains of my spirit began slowly breaking, because faith is not loud when it first starts speaking. It trembles and whispers while courage is leaking, but step after step while the storm clouds are shrieking, you realize the miracle happens in seeking. So I stepped, not because I was fearless or suddenly stronger, but because staying stagnant was hurting me longer, because every delay had been making me hunger for proof that my God was still rewriting my wonder. And the waves tried to tell me I would never rise, the wind tried to laugh at the face of my tries, but heaven had already answered my cries. Faith opened the path that fear had disguised. Now look at the water beneath my feet, look at the miracle doubts couldn't defeat, look at the boy who once feared retreats, now walking on storms with victorious beats. My journey had pauses, my story had scars, my progress was hidden behind prison bars, but grace wrote my name in the language of stars, and destiny traveled through all of my walls. So if you see me walking where logic says drown, if you see me rising where fear held me down, know this, my friends, the waves never left, but my faith learned the crown. Because the secret to walking on water is not the sea, it's in believing that the one who called Peter is the one who called me.